Call to order the Finance Committee meeting for April the 18th, 2017. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of April 4, 2017.
The review of the minutes, are there any corrections or additions?
Move the approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Hale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman. Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item number 1 passed. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments March 29, 2017 through April 7, 2017.
Do we have a report from the Purchasing Committee?
Yes, sir. The Purchasing Committee met earlier today and reviewed the report of claims, and I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Hale.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item number 2 passed. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval of agreement for professional services between Garver and the City of Muskogee, Davis Field Airport for runway 13-31, aircraft parking apron, and taxiway Bravo rehabilitation project number 170-31011, or take other necessary action.
Sir?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Committee. Before I start, this agenda item has not yet been approved by the Airport Board. It is on the Airport Board agenda for tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. But I'm asking here for recommendation pending approval of the Airport Board tomorrow. This agreement for professional services between the city and Garver will provide grant administration and construction services for the Davis Field 1331 apron and taxiway Bravo rehabilitation project that we've been working on. These construction services include inspector and inspection costs and services. This project has already been designed, bid, and awarded to the contractor. These engineering fees for grant administration and construction services total $82,900. The City of Muskogee is responsible for $4,974 of that. That's 6% of the total cost. The rest is being funded by grants and funds from the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission and Federal Aviation Administration. We recommend approving this agreement for professional services for grant administration and construction services for the Davis Field Runway 1331 apron and taxiway Bravo project, pending approval of the Airport Board tomorrow at 4 p.m. Questions?
Is this what we kind of talked about the other day? Okay. Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Hale.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item number 3 passed. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval to accept the low bid from Tiger Truck Industries for the purchase of one 2-door mini truck in the amount of $13,195 and one 4-door mini truck in the amount of $14,195 for a combined total of $27,390 for use by the Parks and Recreation Department or take other necessary action.
Mrs. Swepson?
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the committee. Every time that we have brought this up in our research on possibly using these trucks, everybody always asks what a mini truck is, so I've got a quick little PowerPoint we'll run through, and then we'll get to the meat and bones of it. Basically, a mini truck is a speed-regulated, street-legal, small vehicle. They come with this particular vendor manufacturer. It has a warranty much like a regular automobile. It's a 24-month, 24,000-mile bumper-to-bumper with a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty on the drivetrain. They are state legal, street legal. There's the state statute. The advantages to a little mini truck is they're smaller, they're more maneuverable in confined spaces such as parks, ball fields, and outdoor events. They get better fuel economy. What is stated by the manufacturer and what I've been told by over a dozen people that I've talked to that use these is they get about 3 times the fuel economy that a regular vehicle does. So if you're getting 10 to 12 miles per gallon in a pickup type vehicle in town, you can expect about 30 miles per gallon out of one of these. and they're cheaper to maintain. Most parts are about 60% of the cost of a comparable part for a full-size vehicle. Our plans for use for this is to be used within the Park and Recreation Department to bridge the gap between an ATV and a regular pickup, and I'll get into that a little bit more in a moment. It'll primarily be used at Honor Heights, but I see that events such as G-Fest that's coming up, it can be utilized there as well. Another spot that we would consider it after we pilot the 2 new ones is maybe even out at the airport where it's suitable for there, because Tinker Air Force Base has about 250 of these type vehicles. Example of a ATV type vehicle, you can see you're exposed to the elements, the wind, the rain, the excessive heat or excessive cold. They have a very small bed on the back generally for the ones that we have anyway. So we'd increase our payload ability on the back of those and be able to provide a better working environment going to and from off sites, staying out of the extreme elements. Comparison to a full-size truck, you can see they're smaller, but yet not near as small as what an ATV type vehicle is. The ease of use, the sides fold down on them, unlike a regular pickup bed, so loading and unloading materials is much, much easier. Shoveling material off the side would be much easier. The interior opening of it, they are very, very similar to a vehicle, normal vehicle inside. They do have heat and air as well, air conditioning. They are power windows, locks, power down, hit the button one time, it goes all the way down just like any normal vehicle would. This year they come standard with keyless entry, so they have a little key fob just like a normal vehicle would. They're very, very, very nice vehicles. Who is using them? A multitude of people, but these are some that I contacted that are within our Public Fleet Management Association, Tinker Air Force Base, University of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State University, City of Podo, and about 30 minutes ago had a discussion with Councilman Johnson. They have 2 of them with Muskogee schools, and got a favorable response over how well they like them there, and they currently have them from the same vendor that we're recommending purchasing from as well. The biggest feedback that we got, the area concern, the complaint, was service after the sale. Be sure to choose a vendor that can support the parts and warranty issues, service issues after you buy it, because they are very, very unique. You can't just go down to the local O'Reilly's or Napa Auto Parts and pick up parts for them. They are a Chinese-made thing, so you need to be sure you have a vendor that can support you. The vendor we recommend is Tiger Truck. All of the parts illustrations are online on their website. Put a quick example there of, they give you a good breakdown and illustration with part numbers and description, so you can be sure that you're getting the right part. When I talked to them, they told me they had $1.2 million in parts. Sounded too good to be true, so I took a trip down there, toured their facility, drove the vehicle, met the owner of the company, a super, super nice gentleman. And after looking through their parts department, I believe he's got $1.2 million in parts. You can see there's a whole crate of clutch discs and pressure plates, whole crate of starters. Those are rear end assemblies, axle housings. I bet he had 100 of them there. All the parts shipped worldwide or shipped out of Podo, Oklahoma. So I was more than confident that he could support our needs. Even Councilman Johnson said he had no trouble getting the parts for the 2 that they have. Pricing on them is comparable to a ATV type vehicle that would be comparable. $13,195 for the 2-door model, $14,195 for the 4-door, for a total of $27,390. They are funded in this year's 2016-17 capital outlay for the Parks Department, and it is a kind of a unique situation we're in with. It is 2 separate items we're purchasing, being a 2-door and a 4-door, but there's enough similarities in them that are coming from the same vendor to the same department, being funded out of the same capital outlay account, that we felt it appropriate to bring this before you and just ask for your approval, since it does exceed the $25,000 normal spending cap. This was reviewed with purchasing and legal, and everybody felt this was the appropriate way to go with this. So we are asking for your approval to purchase 2 of these trucks from Tiger Truck Industries in Podo, Oklahoma, for the amount of $27,390. Be happy to answer any questions that I might not have covered.
Well, it's a good company. I don't have the trucks. I have the Tiger car. It's an electric car, and anything that's ever went wrong with it, they have driven up here, put it on a trailer, took it down there, fixed it, and brought it back to me. And some of that was done even outside the warranty time because they felt like it should have been functioning at that time, and they went ahead and fixed it. It's a great company. The guy that owns it does a great job of marketing his product and taking care of it. I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve this item. Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I do want to publicly thank Mark and Robert for looking for creative ways to save money instead of buying full-size trucks and to do the job in a good way and save the city money. And I want to publicly thank them for doing that and solving a problem creatively.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
All right, item number 4 passed, and that was our final item.
We'll now call to order the Public Works Committee meeting. Item number 1.
Consider approval of Public Works Committee minutes of April 4, 2017.
Any additions, changes, discussion?
Move the approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson. Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
And motion carries. Item number 2.
Consider approval for the use of Davis Airfield on April 28th and 29th for the 2017 Touch a Truck fundraising event, pending approval by the Airport Board on April 19th, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley, nice to have you before us today.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is the 8th year we're doing the Touch a Truck, April 28th and 29th. The event's on the 29th. In the last 7 years, it's raised a total of $60,000, which has gone to computers, books that have been given away in the community, summer-ready programs, programming year-round. It's benefited the Children's Department, and the average attendance has been 1,500 to 2,000 people. Rochelle from the library is here if you have any questions to talk to her. And this is the 8th year again, and Public Works is a very strong supporter of this. It's been a very good event for the community.
This is also known as honk-a-horn.
It's loud, yeah.
Touch a trunk, honk-a-horn.
There you go. Any other discussion?
Move the approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other thoughts?
It's a good event.
Very good. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 3.
Consider approval of an amended Council Policy 2-5, policy regarding treatment of injuries, reporting of accidents, and light duty, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Tucker.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, what I'm asking for is for this item to be moved to Monday night without recommendation. As we were preparing for the meeting, we realized that the attachment had a substantial number of errors that were not intended, so we want an opportunity to correct those before we present it to you for your consideration on Monday night.
So no action needed.
No action.
Item number 4.
Consider approval of time extension for change order number 3 on the 43rd and 45th Street reconstruction project, or take other necessary action.
Well, Mr. Stewart, you are going to talk to us.
Yeah. Started at the podium, and hopefully that's where I'm going to end myself, is at the podium.
There you go.
But anyway, this has not got a dollar value change to it. This is simply amending the time on the contract on the 43rd and 45th Street projects. Before we sat down and really started discussing these time extensions and the winter shutdown, which was part of this, we ensured with the contractor that 45th Street would be paved and that there wouldn't be any traffic congestion to it. We've also worked out with Central Mortar and Grout to make sure that they still had access to their property. So everybody's had access, and there have been very few complaints about any of the construction out there. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. What this allows for 141 days of extension to the project. This is a realistic amount of time that's going to be needed to complete it. This is going to put the completion date around June 19th, and that is a very achievable goal, and I hope that's what we get. So we do recommend a 141-day extension to this project. We are going to get there. It is going to be around June 19th when it's completed, and I recommend approval. Answer
Are
any
these
questions.
weather days?
This is a combination, Mayor, of weather days, some changes to the subsoils that required some additional work. This was also a winter shutdown that they had requested through that short period in February where it was extremely cold. In combination, it's 141 days. It's broke down if you looked at the change order per day by event. And we did go over this with the contractor, and we're in agreement with it. So we recommend approval.
Move the approval.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully,
No?
Janie Boydston,
Yes.
Patrick Kale,
Yes.
Wayne Johnson,
Yes.
Ivory Van,
Yes.
Derek Reed,
Yes.
Dan Hall,
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
And the motion carries. Seeing that we had no citizens wishing to speak to this committee, we are adjourned.